Hey, Soulful family, it's your host Omai, and today we're going to touch on a bit of a more touchier subject. Um, my Soulful secret is that I have been a victim of sexual harassment in the workplace. Unfortunately, it's just like so common that I don't know, it kind of gets brushed under the rug. Like it's sometimes it doesn't even get taken as seriously as it should, to be honest. Um, but what I will say is normally the victims are women. So what I did was I found a male who has been a victim. Nathaniel, who is my family member, I will be introducing him to my soulful family, and we're gonna share some soulful secrets. Are you ready? Is this your first interview?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
Finally, happy to be here.
I know. It took us a while to get here. Um, so this episode is actually a little bit different for me because normally it's just a topic and I just have certain questions to ask, but you have a story. Haven't had anybody tell a particular story that they were involved in, like off the rip.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and your story stuck out to me because we usually hear about workplace harassment. If ever heard about it, it's usually from a woman. So when you told me this story, I didn't even know that was going on, and then I was like, "Dang!" From a guy's perspective, there's so many more follow up questions, and it just was different to hear. Like, okay, a guy went through this, like,
Yes.
and I'm sure I feel like you're probably not the only one. I just think it doesn't come up when it comes to men as much.
Yeah, I have colleagues that had similar experience.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
they talk about it just within your circle?
Yeah, just within my circle, and it depends on the person that it was directed to. I would say, like, even though it's still unwelcome, but
Mm,
kind of like flattered. I'm flattered, but not
yeah.
welcome. We can't pursue this. I'm not interested in this.
So when you went through this, did you tell, I know you didn't tell a lot of people. Well, you said this was an exclusive.
Yes,
Social
it is.
secrets exclusive.
Yes.
But if you did mention it to maybe one or two people, were there any women involved? Like maybe that's why we don't know about it. Maybe guys only speak about it to other guys.
No, I told my significant other was well aware of the situation. I told her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told her, and I told her exactly, what was going on at work.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she was very helpful to really help me understand that that's highly unprofessional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Nathaniel. We kind of just jumped right into it. We didn't even get to the story. So you can tell us
Yes.
the background story as to why we're here and what harassment you felt.
All right. So let's go right in it. I was working for a financial firm,
Okay.
and I was pursued and recruited by that person to come join their firm.
Okay. Oh, so this you were pursued by a woman, another woman.
That same woman
Okay. You were pursued by a woman
to
to
come
even
join.
join the
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, when one state, like in my industry, they they try to persuade and convince you to come join them, and
Yeah.
all those greener grass type of situation and incentive to come.
Right.
However, for many reasons, including being closer to family and other incentive, so I agreed to come and join that particular firm.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously when I got there, it was it started well, and then certain things started to come up in terms of, hey, I told you it will be nice, and things will be nice, and we can turn things around. It's gonna be a you and I. We're gonna turn this particular division around, and we'll be number one in terms of in the region, and like super team type of thing. So it started that way.
Okay. Was
And
it just you two on the team?
it's not necessarily a team. We were both managers.
Okay.
We were both managers. So with that being said, and then we will get it started with unusual hours, like calling in unusual hours.
Okay.
Like work is 9 to 5. If there's no business reason to reach out to each other after 5, then there's no reason.
So she was hitting you late night.
Definitely after work hours. you know, Definitely after work hours, and also
Saying what though?
Hmm?
Saying, was it when she was reaching out to you, was it strictly business?
It started strictly business in terms of metrics. Oh, we need, let's strategize. We need this for this goal and all that stuff. How do
Okay.
we motivate? How do we motivate the staff and things of that nature? It's always it started with work angle, and then
Yeah,
escalate,
she got her foot
and
in the door.
yeah, and then it escalate into, why darn, can I ask you for a personal advice? What it is? Why is men a certain way? Do you think there's many good men left in this world, and all kind of other stuff? Or what do you think of me in terms of, why can I, like, why do you think of me? Do you think I'm attractive? Do you think I'm a good person? Why can I have a good man? That type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will divert the conversation back to work related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
And like those after work phone calls or early morning phone call in terms of, are you closer to getting to work and everything? Or you grab coffee, can you grab me a coffee too? Here's how I like it, that type of things.
Okay.
And it's like, little nice innocent things, but that can escalate in different ways. So
Yeah.
you try to maintain like a professional work relationship, but at the same time, you don't want to be portrayed as not a team player.
Because that's that gray area where people kind of see how far they could take it with you because they're still your coworker or colleague,
Yeah,
but they're trying to form that friendly relationship to see how far you could take it. And a nicer person is gonna, okay, I mean, they didn't say anything wrong yet. So it's like, all right,
exactly.
I'm gonna respond, like I'm not gonna ignore you. But at the same time, it's like, do
Yeah,
I want an outside of work relationship with you? Like,
exactly. So I did have that naive type of approach to it. So
I
like
think most people in where you're at right now in the story, I feel like most people would still be responding because there was
exactly.
nothing really inappropriate yet, except
Yeah,
the
so
time of day.
it wasn't that blatant, inappropriateness and stuff. So
Right.
you try, like, okay, if since I'm early, why not? So that, that type of thing. So it started with those little things, um, and then it got to a point where, it gets into inappropriate jokes. Oh, how tall are you? I'm 6'2". Oh, wow, is it true what they say about tall guys?
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know, what is it. You're playing that, not knowing, that,
Mhm.
yeah, what are you inferring, that type of thing. But to try to make the story short, in the Northeast, like, since the location wasn't that close to my house, so when it snows, instead of risking my life and brave the storm, I usually stayed overnight not too far from the work location.
Mhm.
So I usually stay at a hotel and have extra, suits and everything to dress appropriately for work, that type of thing. And then she found out, she called and said, here's how she found out. She called like doing the storm started the day prior, right? Are you gonna drive home? I said, no, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. She said, one of us has to make it in time to open, and things like that. Since we were both managers, we were in charge of opening that particular location. So the the following morning, she called me early and said, are you gonna make it in time? I said, yeah, I spend the night in that particular area. She said, oh wow, you spend the night at a hotel? I said, yes. And she said, wow, I did too. And I'm like, oh, really? And I said, okay. He said, if I knew, we could have stayed at the same place because she had the corporate card.
Okay.
She said, we could have stayed at the same place because I had the corporate card. I could have charged it to the company and everything. And I said, hey, if they wouldn't mind 2 rooms, that's fine. She said, 2 rooms? No, it's just 1 room, you and I. And I'm like, you don't think you don't think that's a problem? She said, why, you scared I don't bite? So at first I took it as a joke, but that following day when I got home and I explained it to my significant other, and she was like, no, you entertaining her advances, and
Yeah.
that's clearly inappropriate.
Yeah.
So with that being said, moving forward, I started to say, hey, I don't think that's inappropriate. Let's focus on work and everything. So when I started to kind of like, okay, this is getting uncomfortable, this is not good for work, all of a sudden, everything changes.
Okay.
Everything changes. Uh, it went from a place that I used to look forward to go to a place where I'm dreading, oh my God, I can't believe that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what type of things I'm gonna face today. Because it turned into a very toxic work environment where she was trying to find any anything that she could use against me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it got really, really, really toxic, really, really toxic. And on many occasions, she would say, why can't I find, why can't I find a good guy, straightforward like you, and like she's not
So she
using.
kind of liked you turning her down.
I don't know, because I don't think she's the type. She came across as the type of female that men cannot say no to.
What do you mean? Like
She
she wouldn't let you say no?
I don't think she doesn't. I don't think she likes not getting her way.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's attractive. She's independent, like very 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 prominent within her field.
So is she in the same age group as you?
No,
Was she
no,
older or younger?
no. She's older.
Okay.
She was older. However, she definitely does not look her age. So I'm giving her a compliment if she's watching this. But yeah, she definitely looks younger than her age, and she's a very attractive lady. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but very unlucky in men and very, you know manipulative, very manipulative.
Okay. So you told her you weren't interested and
Hmm.
she then changed, she turned the table. Like she started
Yes,
thinking different.
yes, completely different. I couldn't stand my guts. That it got. I felt that's where we were,
Now was
to the
she
point to the point where she's the type. She was a no. She's a very emotional person too. She's the type of person, if she has a problem with you, you will know it, because her behavior and demeanor, everything changes. She will come and say good morning to the staff and purposefully not say good morning to me.
okay, so she's petty.
Yeah,
So
and we will have morning like presentations, and she will do her part and then stop and that's it, and like walk out and let me finish the meeting, that type of
Oh wow, that's unprofessional.
thing. Yeah.
So all right, so you said it became a toxic work environment. Was the way that she changed the if affect the business side, which you just said like she would leave the meeting while you guys are still having a meeting, just so she didn't hear your part. So
Yes.
yes.
Yes, it definitely affect it affects everything, because if the work environment is toxic, it will affect morale, and it will like there's clearly a divide between us two,
Mm-hmm.
and like I will come up with this plan to bring business, and she will go behind me and undermine the whole thing.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
and that particular company was very heavy on promoting women. The CEO was a female, like a lot of senior management
Mm-hmm.
had females in those roles, and nothing against that whatsoever. But it's just to give you a background on the story and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So did any of your colleagues notice what was going on? Or did you
Yes.
speak to them stuff? Or they didn't know? What were they saying? I mean,
Oh, okay. Now,
from
hold on. Most of the staff were female. There was only two
oh,
guys.
I didn't picture
There
that.
was only Yeah, there was only two guys, but I was the only one that was there all the time.
Wait, there were
If
only
I'm
two
not
guys,
there,
including you?
yeah, two guys including me. The
Okay.
other guy might come once or maybe twice a week,
Okay.
and he has an office that is completely remote from everybody.
Wow.
So yeah,
I
so
was going I was
I was in the midst dealing with all that, with dealing with everybody.
so
So it
wait,
was mostly female.
if the other women knew what were they saying? Or how were they reacting?
The their reaction, in my opinion, came across as this is an issue for management. So they're not getting really involved,
Hmm.
not really wanted to take side. But
Yeah,
the
I mean
thing
that's
is
hard.
yeah. So the thing is that as a guy, I never, like I said, it's an exclusive for your show. I didn't talk about it. It was obvious, and they knew, but it was all the things that they knew, or all the things came from her end, or their observation. But it
Mm.
wasn't from me,
So you were going through this by yourself,
by myself.
mostly.
So yeah, and I'm highly professional, so I don't entertain, or I I do not entertain or focus on any other stuff, because I'm trying to focus on productivity and business.
Understood.
Yeah.
And you said you told your significant other, but did you tell any like friends or family or anything?
No, I didn't tell friends and family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I was gonna say, were you the only victim? But you said it's mostly women that work there, so
Yeah, yeah, mostly women that work there, and yeah.
wow, this is like it's even more significant than I thought because I didn't picture it like that at all. So this is that you were in a tough spot.
Yeah,
Um,
and it turns out too that um, the turnover rate over there, it was like very high,
okay.
and the male associates or male employee in that particular location, if either they got let go or they requested transfer.
Do you think there's some type of correlation to that?
Definitely.
Mm,
The person that I replaced stayed there for a month, less than 3 months. He got out of there real quick.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So how do you feel as a guy going through this scenario? Because I'm sure you probably never heard of this from anybody else.
You know what? As a guy, it was a little bit that Me Too movement and stuff wasn't in full force,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I think there's a lot of guys that probably will not voice it in terms of how they might be perceived or anything
Yeah.
like that. But I know for a fact that I have friends. I volunteer in different groups, and I have backgrounds where I used to help people dealing with trauma and
Mm-hmm.
different situation from
Mm-hmm.
from previous career, right? So when there's a lot of underreported, domestic abuse, especially when the victims are male.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of males that are in toxic relationship, and it's taboo nowadays to discuss those things because you might be perceived as weak.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that. I know as a woman, it's already hard to discuss scenarios like that. It's complicated. Even if you do discuss it, people might not believe you or take it further, et cetera, et cetera. So I can only imagine as a man who, for one, it's not common, and for two, like you said, you probably sound weak if you're sitting here saying an attractive woman is approaching me and it's making me feel uncomfortable. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure that's why I was asking, like, who else did you tell? But yeah, I see why you didn't tell anybody. That's a lot of, like you said, a lot of people don't tell people when they're going through various scenarios. Um, so you did, I was gonna say that you didn't take it to the higher ups, I'm assuming.
no, I did not take it to the higher ups, and I'm a little bit, like private and keep things personal, and
Yeah.
I also tend to trying to find, diplomatic means or ways to like come up with solutions or common ground. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to matters of the heart,
Yeah, it gets
it's
complicated.
it gets complicated. It's either you want me or you don't want me. If you want me, okay. If you don't want me, then you can die today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during this time, your relationship with your significant other ended, right? While you were still there?
No, it ended. It ended after.
After.
Yeah,
Okay.
after. But doing this whole ordeal and everything, I kind of like got her support and everything in terms of this is the right thing and trying to find ways don't entertain this and everything because it was mostly like you have a job to do and bring the bacon home, that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
How did it make you feel being in a scenario where if you make the wrong move, it could affect your family and your well-being?
yes, it is scary because you have risk on all sides. If you do something and that might you know jeopardize the family unit, which it's a big no. I don't want that. And on the other side, it's your career and your professional ambition that's in the basket. So you're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like against two walls.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very challenging. Yes.
Mm, I can only imagine. So this led to her being angry, building a bad rapport for you,
Yep.
led to you being fired.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got terminated. Actually,
Yeah.
I found out about I found out that I'll be terminated months before.
Oh, you knew before they did it.
Yeah, I knew before they did it. She hinted to others from other region that will say, Nate, I heard, what, that will say, hey, I heard that things aren't going. What's going on between you two? You guys need to come up together. I heard you all leaving. Like the rumors.
Wait.
Yeah, yeah, rumors like that started. I heard you guys aren't getting along. I heard you all leaving. Why you leaving the company? That type of thing. And I'm saying no and everything. And also, I I heard a conversation with somebody saying that on such and such date, he's being let go, referring to me.
They knew the date? What? So everybody knew except you.
Yeah, she knew the date and everything, and I overheard her and everything. And then when she realized I was there, and she came and said, "Were you? Did you like you were there for a long time?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "You heard my conversation?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, okay." And then she left.
So do you feel like because she wasn't your manager, right?
No,
So you feel like she was the reason that you got fired, correct?
not feel like
Okay.
I know.
Okay. How do you know
Yeah,
though?
because no, I know because, like I said before, she's the type of person if she doesn't hide anything. If she has a problem,
Mm,
she lets it known,
it
and then
became apparent.
yeah, and it's apparent, and she voiced it.
Mm,
She voiced it. She tried everything to get under my skin, and including trying to threat me, like threatening me in terms of I'm gonna get you fired.
mm, mm.
So I knew it was coming.
Okay. Well, when you knew it was coming, what was your like? Did you have any strategy to hear that? Okay, this.
Oh, obviously I had a strategy, so I knew it was coming. So I started seeking, trying to join other firms and everything. It's just so
Oh,
happened
okay.
that by the time I realized that it was an empty threat, it was serious. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just that it happens before I was able to move to another firm.
Mm. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Do you,
which is why when the higher ups came and to have a one like when the higher ups came to have like that sit down and everything,
mm,
and I clearly still told them, I said, there's no need for this. There's no need for this per se. I already know what's going on. So
mm.
there's like, okay, and everything or whatever, come visit and let's keep a professional relationship.
How,
Trying to, yeah,
how you gonna do that? Like what?
exactly, exactly.
Were the higher ups women?
Mm-hmm.
All women?
All women.
Wow. They're giving us a bad look right now. I don't want to put this interview out there no more.
They were all women, and they had bonds. I know her and one of the higher ups like they bonded because
Mm.
they had similar life experience in terms of they were married and they were divorced and they became like sole provider for their family, that type of thing, can really rely, and that type of thing. So they had similar experience, so they had each other's back, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that's also another toughie at work. When it's it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes,
People they they favor their friends and stuff.
yes.
That's so hard. I'm sorry you had to go through this, and anybody else who dealt with workplace harassment. Do you feel like you learned anything from this? You have
Oh,
any takeaways?
definitely. I think in terms of um, like be more like I don't think I was clear in terms of telling her like, okay, I'm uncomfortable, let's not do it. I was kind of like there's a lot of I ignored the writing on the walls, or maybe I was naive, didn't really get it from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But I mean, even when you turned around and did turn her down, she still went ham on you. So
that
either
is true.
way,
That's true.
I
Either
think it's
way,
the person you deal with. It's not even about like if I was more direct and stuff. I mean, people say that you gotta be more direct, but at the end of the day, people know when you're not interested or when you are. Like, and
yeah,
even when you were direct, she got in her feelings and started to be petty.
yeah.
You just would
I
have got
think in
fired sooner.
retrospect, because the company itself is a great company. I really liked that. I did like the company.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could have moved from within and go into a different market, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Mm-mm. One person ruining for everybody.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there are some guys who would have loved to be in that situation because they probably would have reacted in different ways, and use the situation in their favor, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, some people do use scenarios like that in your favor, but I feel like if that's the person, there she is, a petty person and person that mixes business with pleasure, whatever. It could start off good, but is it really going to end well? Like either way you want to put it.
I have yet to hear any scenarios where it ends well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it doesn't. So,
Yeah.
and when it comes, and like I said, when it comes to matters of the heart, there's a person that is hurt and there's a person that is not. So, you know, so I don't know. I'm not a relationship expert, so I will not pretend to be.
Yeah, that's sad to say. I feel like the people you were working with give a bad name for women. But there's people like that in the world all over.
But you know, hold on, I have to play devil's advocate. So she wasn't the only female manager within that company. There were other female managers that had male colleagues that, you know, didn't their experience differ completely.
No, I'm not saying though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the whole company. I'm saying the person in your story.
Yeah.
And the other managers that agreed with what she was doing that fired you because of that. Like I mean, it probably on paper, on paper you have to say something else, but
yes, on paper it was definitely something else.
Yeah, of course, but they knew what was going on. They knew the real reasoning because they're friends. So those are the people that I'm saying are giving a bad name to.
All right, here. Let me tell you what was
the reasoning.
The last thing that broke the camel for her boss.
Straw on the camel's back.
Yeah, for the camel's back for her boss, right?
Okay.
Because she was telling her boss certain things, but based on my behavior and my performance, it was something different. So there was this disparity, but they couldn't come up with something. But one of the strategies that she had, I didn't know then, which I know now, is that she would schedule things. She will schedule meetings, and I don't know. And because I didn't know, I don't show up, or I'm not prepared. So which reflects poorly on me.
She was setting you up.
Yes. Yes, because the last meeting I was supposed to have with our boss, I didn't attend that meeting. And then she came specifically to have that meeting with me. And it seems like I have no respect for higher ups. You know, I had no respect for her time and you know, for my, you know, my manager, my boss or something. So she was there specifically for that meeting, and I was doing.
Did you explain that to her? Did you explain like I wasn't even aware that it was scheduled for today?
No, I
didn't have. You tell the boss
I couldn't explain because I didn't know there was a meeting.
Well, I mean, after the fact.
After the fact, it was already too late because she came in. I didn't come in the meeting. I went to meet with clients.
Okay.
And by the time I come back, it was time for everybody to go home. And it wasn't until the following, like it was until after I'm finding out why you didn't attend the meeting with so and so. I'm like, it wasn't on my calendar.
What did
you know
they
what I'm
say?
Saying? I wasn't aware.
What did they say when you said you wasn't aware?
Yeah.
What did the boss say when they said you weren't aware?
Oh, the boss didn't approach me about it at all. She thought that I purposely did that to her, did not attend the meeting with her or something. Whatever was concocted or discussed, I was completely in the dark.
Okay. So you didn't fight it?
No. At the point, it's like fighting to remain in a toxic environment. It didn't make logical sense. So I was mostly focusing on getting out.
Okay.
Less than 18 months later, they both are gone. They no longer with that company either.
Wow. It always turns out like that.
Yeah.
Do you know the reasoning?
No, I had former colleagues telling me and say, hey, you know, You won't believe it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they had nicknames. They had nicknames for both of them. They would say the nicknames, and they say they are gone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you consider going back?
Mm, no,
Mm.
no. Good company to work for, though. Good company to work for. But I've moved on. I'm
Mm.
very happy where I am now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. See?
Yeah.
So is the silver lining.
Yes, there's always a silver lining.
Unfortunate event, very unfortunate event. And although it's an unfortunate event, I feel like certain scenarios could have gone worse. So thank goodness it was just her pursuing you via text message and stuff, or at least that's what you're telling us. And thank goodness, although she was being petty at work, it was just, it was just work stuff. Like you found another job. It could have
Yeah.
been more. She could have been coming at you physically. She could have reached out to your family and been doing weird stuff. Like who knows? She could have caused way more drama. So, it's a good thing that it's kind of clear cut and it ended fast.
I know. I know. Like I said, I know there were guys who would have definitely take advantage,
Yeah.
especially when she proposed to go on a mini vacation in some exotic place.
Yeah.
Very tempting.
How you just gonna add that in at the end?
I just remembered it. Yeah. Hey, but who doesn't like a happy ending, right?
Did you offer to pay for it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's
The
gonna be some
assumption
people mad at you watching this.
she didn't flat out say she will pay for it. The indication was, you know, like it could be expensed out to the company.
Mm. So not only was she using the company's money.
Now, I'm not saying she is using because I have no.
I'm saying it. I'm saying
Okay,
it.
okay. Because I have no proof of that because I didn't go anywhere. But
There's no proof of that.
yes,
Allegedly.
allegedly, that's how
Allegedly.
that's how it would have worked out.
Allegedly, she was using this company's money.
Yeah.
But she was also harassing people. I feel bad. Like, who cares about your business if your soul is toxic?
In the world of business, in the real world, they pay at they they look at numbers.
Yeah.
They look at numbers. As long as it's not illegal, it could be borderline unethical, but not it's like that gray area. Nobody cares. It's the numbers. Yeah. It's the numbers.
Understood.
Yeah, there's this assumption that like ruthless, salespeople, they are the one making the numbers and everything, and they tend to explain that's the reason why and all that stuff. So if
that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I guess they don't know how to turn it on and off. Maybe that's
exactly. I don't necessarily agree with it, but
yeah, but ruthless don't mean harass your colleagues.
But like not like it might be a way to like have that work life balance. If you're not happy at home, if you can be happy at work and happy while you work, why not? Some people might go for that. Because there are people, they can't wait for the for the for the happy hours and whatever. So
yeah, it'll come back to her though. Stuff like that always bites you in the ass eventually.
Some people say that's how karma works. I don't know.
It is. It is how karma works. All right, cuz. Well, that was a good story. I don't think I have any more questions for you. And this is an exclusive, so I can't even ask how other people reacted because we got the exclusive story right
Sorry.
here.
Yep. Yep.
um, so yeah, thank you for sharing with us.
The pleasure's all mine. The pleasure's all mine.
I'm glad that you decided to tell your story. I know it's kind of hard and it's kind of borderline.
I had to make an exception for you, cause so you
Well,
got.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, Soulful family, until next time.